So my name is Daniel. I'm 36 years old. I have 2 children, and I work with patient safety and quality. Growing up was kind of all over the place. I started out life as a small and super skinny kid, and I was really desperate to get some meat on my bones. I wanted to be muscular like the action guys in all the action movies, and that didn't quite work out. So I continued on that path, making little gains, putting some muscle on my body little by little by little, until I got sick back in 2012, and I was first diagnosed with cancer.
In April of 2012, I had my left testicle removed because I found a lump and it turned out to be cancerous.
The first time I found out about cancer, it was kind of surprising, and there was a lot of wait and anticipation. We had to go through the medical process of waiting for an appointment, getting it scanned, getting it biopsied. I went from one day like, okay, we'll see, it might be, and all of a sudden to, okay, you need to stop everything you're doing right now, you need to go in for surgery tomorrow, and we'll take care of all the details afterwards. I didn't have a whole lot of time to process it, but I just had to have faith in that they knew what they were doing. I lost a pretty important body part on that very next day, which kind of still affects me in a lot of different ways. A lot of a guy's identity is, having balls. You want to have the balls to do things. You want to have the guts. You want to have the cojones. You have the huevos. And then I went from having it to not having it. Life took a lot of big changes after that. And it turns out that testosterone is actually a pretty big part in the fitness equation when weightlifting is a big part of your life. And it was pretty shocking. A lot of the strength I had relied on for most of my life was completely gone. So I made some adjustments and turned into a runner, because that's something that you can persist with even without a whole lot of strength. And I figured I could either feel real sorry for myself that I can't make my weightlifting goals anymore, or I can try to see whatever I can do with whatever's left. So through that, I started out on my long distance running journey, and that's where I met Mallory. I met Mallory through my sister and her friend Ruby were doing a lot of long distance runs, and they did so many amazing things together. And I remember looking at them thinking, that's amazing. I want to have that kind of relationship with other people. I want to have other people to struggle with, to get strong with. And when I saw them, I knew deep in my heart that one day I wanted to be like them too. I wanted to be able to go the distance together with other people, because it's a meaningful journey. So after my first remission, I was fully ready to go into long distance running. I had that great thirst for life. I signed up for a half marathon, which I barely finished. And then I signed up for the Los Angeles Marathon, which I wasn't able to run because the cancer came back.
Later on that year, I found out through one of my scans that the cancer had spread to my lymph nodes. I was a little bit taken aback, because I thought that just by being vigilant and catching things early that I would be free and in the clear. But it's not always the case.
So I started treatment in January of 2013. From the first day, I was really blessed to have very good caretakers who eased me into the process where I would be plugged in and poison was going to be pumped into my body for up to 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. I felt my body hurting, ailing from the poison right on the very first day. It wasn't pleasant at all. But it took maybe that first 2 weeks wasn't so bad. I thought I can be tough through this. I can be tough through this. The lowest part for me in chemotherapy was when my youngest son, who was 4 at the time, wanted to play, and he's so earnest, and I wanted so badly to play with him, but I couldn't muster the energy to get up and play with him. And I cursed myself at that time. I never wanted to be so weak I can't even play with my own kid. That was the worst time for me, and I promised after that point that I would never be that weak again, that I would value my strength and not take it for granted, that I'm going to get stronger, and that I'm going to make a difference in my life and theirs. Throughout my treatment, my mother, father, and sister drove me to each and every one of my infusion sessions. They sat next to me while I suffered in the chemotherapy chair, and they were there to get me anything, literally anything I would ask for. If I could tolerate eating it, they would go to the ends of the earth to make sure that I got it. I also had a very good friend, Shingo, who signed up to do the 2013 Los Angeles Marathon with me, because that was going to be my first, celebration of survival race before the cancer came back. And I remember feeling very inspired that, he went through and ran the Los Angeles Marathon even though I couldn't be there. And I watched him. I watched him from the sidelines running the marathon and thinking to myself, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to let fear make any of my decisions.
The LA Marathon, in fact, the shirt that I'm wearing right now, represents a race that I was fully committed to running, and this is a stark reminder to me that there are scarier things in life than running 26.2 miles.
My second remission started in May of 2013, after which date I, once again, with Thirst for Life, immediately signed up for as many races that I could tolerate. I started out with a color run while I was nice and bald, and I learned that the color run is actually pretty gross. It's you get really dirty, but it looks real fun on a bald head. And then I followed it up by training my ass off and going to the Los Angeles Marathon with my sister in 2014. That was supposed to be one check on my bucket list that I thought, this is going to be one and done. I'm going to get back on the road with the weightlifting. And most of my training and recovery up till that point was mostly solo training or doing some trampoline park with the kids. It wasn't until later when I found out about Ruby's diagnosis and her struggles, and I wanted to make myself available to stand up for her cause and to run where she couldn't and to be strong where she couldn't. And from there on out, I started to meet more and more people that had fitness as a big part of their life. I eventually became part of the tribe and have been inspired every day since to do more for the community, and as a reinforcement that having strong people in your life is one of the greatest things you can do for yourself. So these days, I still lift, but well within the body weight range, and I'm not putting any of my joints in danger, and I'm pretty happy to be injury-free for the last 5 years. If I can make one difference in the world, it would be that my children could be healthy, happy, and strong. If I can make two differences in the world, it would be that I can make a personal difference in the people that are around me, that we can be a little bit stronger, that we can appreciate what we have in functionally able bodies, that we don't take our health for granted. If I can make a third difference in the world, it would be to show other survivors out there that we can stand up again, that we can be strong, that whatever it is that you need to reach for, you can do it with the right support. And beyond that, it's also important for me to be able to show appreciation to the people that took care of me, that they succeeded. It's important to me that the nurses that took care of me, that have it in their heart to take care of sick people, that they know that they were successful.